Welcome everyone to the Notorious Weekly Watch List, brought to you by your host, the Option Addict. Let's go ahead and get started. I know this is rolling out here a little bit late, but I had a fun-filled weekend and came back a little late last night, so anyway, we're going to go ahead and dive in right here, right now. I'm looking at a chart here, the S&P 500, and last week we talked about the fact that the market was a little bit oversold. We applied some old Fibonacci retracements here to look for support and resistance levels, or places where the market could potentially rally. I also brought up the fact, using the InvestTools proprietary market forecast tool, that a lot of indicators were showing oversold all simultaneously, which led us to believe there was going to be this little bit of a rally. It's kind of faded out here towards, as the days gone by, but I don't know. I think you got to watch prices as they maintain themselves between the 38 and 23% retracement levels. Obviously this would be a target, but I don't think the market is going to be that strong to reach it. I think we'll probably have a better chance of reaching 1330 again before we end up getting 1375, being right here smack in the middle. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get started with a few price patterns like I normally start off with. Atwood Oceanics is the first one. So I'm looking at ATW, and you can see here I've got the lines drawn. I'm looking at a nice big symmetrical triangle. Be watching for a breakout of this particular line right here. Now, being that it's right in between both support and resistance, I think it's too far away from either side to take the trade right here, right now. If it's going to march its way right out and break out, I'd probably rather wait for that. However, if it comes back down to support, I'd obviously like to buy at least half my position there and anticipate the breakout. Next is BTU, and this is actually a repeat. I just want to go out here on the record and say I still like this trade. I still like the idea, especially right here near support. I think this looks pretty good. I think you can anticipate here at support with your risk, or at least your stop order, kind of right around this area. So BTU still on the list. ITG, Investment Technology Group. I like the bear flag here. You can see it starts about 40, dipped all the way down to about 36, and it's starting to rally. I think it could retest as much as 40 here, so maybe it's a little bit early. But another dollar or so to the upside is probably as far as it's going to want to go before I'm going to start buying puts. And by the time it retraces itself right to about 40, I'd got to say I'd either go with an at the money or maybe an in the money option here, because going all the way out with an out of the money here is probably a little bit too far. So keep that in mind. Next, I'm going to go to Fastenal, F-A-S-T. The same thing. This is a little bit early, although I could anticipate this trade here by buying near support and watching it rally. Again, as a swing trader, I like the idea here of a low-risk setup, and I think you're pretty close to this here. Next is CLB. So this was the triangle I had last week. It popped, it came back down and retested, and now it's at its new closing high, at least right now. So I still like this idea. I still think it's going to move the width of this pattern back here, although I think it's going to take about a couple months to do it. So that's still very much on the list. NGS, illiquid stock, just so you know, it doesn't trade a whole lot on average. So this would probably be a long stock position. Being that it's $30, I'll go ahead and shell that out. I like the fact that we got a nice little flag breakout here. Starting at 27, gets as high as 30. I'm looking for about a $3-4 move. Pretty good for a $30 stock, so keep that on your radar. Now, also in the oil stocks, you're going to see this pattern going on here recently. You can see a little resistance line that we're breaking out of here today, and you can see this kind of half circle action. Right now I'm looking at Oceaneering International, OII. The breakout here, this is kind of like a short-term cup and handle. You'll see it here in OII. You'll see it in APC. It hasn't broken out quite yet. Chesapeake, CHK. You'll see it there. This one's actually breaking out here today. Noble, NBL. Nexus, NXY, or Nexin. Yeah, Nexin. PXP. You're going to see the same thing there. This is a little bit further behind, but still working its way towards there. Questar, STR. You can see it's just starting to dip right here. XEC. You can see I actually like this stock a lot. It's pretty volatile. And also so this miniature cup and handle pattern is popping up on all of these stocks. I wouldn't trade all of them, obviously. I would maybe pick one or two. Determine a fair position size or a fair amount of exposure for this. Maybe pick 1, 2, 3, depending on how much money you're working with. But these patterns look pretty good, and I think all these stocks are going to end up being at new highs here sooner than later. A couple others I want to bring up. St. Mary's. This was on last week's list. You'll remember I put it down as a breakout candidate. And this bad boy has been on fire ever since then. I like the little breakout here that we're seeing today out of this flag. This is a pretty good opportunity. If this stock can continue acting as volatile as it's been recently, this is a great opportunity to get long here right at about 60. Also on the list, I still have AK still there because I still have sizable position in this particular stock. It hasn't really moved yet, but again, I've been anticipatory in nature with this one, so it's got to move by at least expiration in July or I'm hosed. And last but not least, for a bearish trade, I'm going to repeat this one, MELI. Last week we had a fallout in this particular stock, and we're basing again. I think it tests the lows, and with it trading at 40, that's a pretty sizable move. We're talking about 20%, so have this on your list. And as always, I got a pre-screened list of dips, rips, breakouts, and breakdowns I'm going to throw at you, so buckle up. Well, folks, that'll do it for me this week. Again, apologize for the tardiness on this week's list, but better late than never. I just happened to pass out a little bit early this weekend, which is usually a little uncharacteristic of me. I'm raising my glass to a profitable week this week, so hope you're doing the same. And in the meantime, that's my watch list. Thanks for watching.
Is it always like this with the TV cameras and the people and stuff?
Oh, yeah, a lot of pressure. You gotta rise above it. You gotta harness in the good energy, block out the bad. Harness, energy, block, bad. Feel the flow happy. Feel it.